Okay, so this is a new topic, okay? This one, the man and his environment. So I'm showing you this picture first. Very important. Look at that, what's happening? There's a big nose here, and then this nose is sucking in all the fumes, right? Do we get all this? Have you ever smelled like any pollution before? Do you think you have smell any pollution before? Are you okay? Come, take a seat over there. Right. Have you ever smelled pollution? Where? Where have you experienced pollution? Anyone? Anywhere? Like over here? Do you think there's pollution over here? Outside, just outside. Yeah, vehicles, right? There's pollution everywhere, no, right? Because we are no longer in the, what do you call that? Okay, unless you are living in the forest, okay? But we aren't living in the forest. Actually, that's for you, the worksheet. Okay, but we aren't living in the forest, and because we are not living in the forest, there's actually pollution everywhere. But of course, the kind of pollution that we are experiencing right now is not like this. This is like literally staying in a polluted area. But do you think there are people who are staying in this kind of situations? Where do you think there are people staying in this kind of polluted areas? Any idea? America. Okay, which part? Depending on which part. Okay. Africa. You say Africa? Wait, who said Africa? I cannot see your mouth. Okay. Africa. Africa maybe don't have. Right, but I'll tell you where. Beijing. Right. Beijing. China. Oh, Beijing. China pollution is one of the most is the worst what do you call that? The worst in the world. This is like a daily life. This one. Okay? What do I mean by daily life? That means every day you step out of your house, it's like this. Okay, you see the difference? See the difference, huh? Usually it's like that. That means if you don't see this, it's abnormal. Do you understand? If you see something like that, that means it's something's wrong, huh? Right? But their daily life is like that, right? So I have actually students who come from Shanghai and Beijing. So and then I was asking them, hey, don't you feel very weird, that your life is like this? Okay, guess what's their response? Like every day come out with that, right? What's their response? What do you think is their response? Any guess? Yeah, exactly. They say it's normal. They're used to it, right? But then if you put a Singaporean over there, the Singaporean will be like, oh, something is wrong, right? But just by looking at the pictures, you know something is wrong, right? It cannot be like this every day. Okay, so they have this massive pollution. Now, why do they have so much pollution? Because they have a lot of factories, right? They also have a lot of vehicles. Okay, that's why people are going for electric vehicles right now. Do you know what's an electric vehicle? Do we have electric vehicles in Singapore? Yes, but we have a lot of electric vehicles. We don't have a lot, okay? So if we continue to not have electric vehicles and then we become like China, Beijing, right? And where they start to use a lot of vehicles, then our air will look like that. So when the air looks like that, it's terrible, it's very bad, right? The air quality is just, you see, look at that, right? It's just terrible. And the thing about it is, they actually don't know that, or they know that the air is bad, but then they are like, what can we do? There's nothing they can do, because can you go and ask the people to stop driving? Can you say like, hey, stop driving? Like in Singapore, can you imagine if we have all this pollution going on? Can the government come and tell your family, can you please stop driving? Can or not? Cannot lah. A bit difficult. Because why? Then as a citizen, I'll be asking them, then why do I pay so much for a car? When I cannot drive. I already bought the car and then you don't allow me to drive. That doesn't make sense. Okay. So in China, one of the solutions that they had was they prevent cars with certain number from driving. What do I mean by that? That means, let's say today is a Monday. then they'll say that, oh, if your car plate has the number 1, your car cannot come out. Right? That's their solution. Okay, let's say tomorrow is Tuesday, right? And then they'll say, oh, if your car plate has the number 2, then you cannot come out. Right? So to be fair, they say this is the most fair way. Right? In fact, what they did is they used odd and even numbers. Okay, sorry, what is the what? Yeah, what if the count is 1, 2, 3, 4? So you can only use on certain days, no? Right? Or you can only use on Friday or Saturday and Sunday, no? Right? So actually, the actual thing they did was they say that, okay, your car Monday, right? Odd number cars can be used, right? Then Tuesday, even number cars can be used. What's the odd and even? That means the last digit. If it's an odd number, then the car can come out. If it's an even number, then the car can come out. Something like that. Okay. So what do you think the rich people do? Yes, you're correct. They buy 2 cars, one with odd number, one with even number. Then still pollution. You see, right? So, but of course, most people will be like, oh, okay, then I will not use the car on the odd day or even day. Okay, but what is the thing that I'm trying to introduce right here is that we're actually talking about man and the environment. This is our topic for today. Okay, environmental impacts. So basically everything that we do has an impact on our environment. Okay, so these of course are extreme examples. Now how about Singapore? Do you think we suffer from any problems like pollution problems? Now here we are talking about environment, impact on environment. Do you think Singapore has any bad impacts on environment? I mean, we look like a very clean and green. I mean, we are a very clean and green country, right? Everywhere you see is clean. You look out the window, you see green. What do you mean by green? I mean, we see red here, but I'm talking about the plants. Okay, plants and trees. So clean and green environment. How can we possibly suffer from anything? Do you think we are suffering from any problem? Megan? Do you think we have problems? Like pollution problem? No? You don't think so? Okay. Ethel? Water pollution over here? Water. Actually, what are problems, so-called environment problems we have? You can make a guess. It doesn't matter. Some funny answers, okay. Anything? No? Okay, Jubel?
Plastic straws.
Okay, very good. How about Kenny?
Water.
That's all right? Water, okay. So, you see, let me explain. Why is our place so clean? Who is the one who cleans all this stuff? The garbage man, right? So, there's only reason why our place is so clean. It's because the garbage and the rubbish are gone, correct? But where do they go to? The where? Island, yeah. So Singapore actually have a problem, right? Our problem is it's too clean outside. Why is it so clean? Because all the garbage has been consolidated and is going somewhere, right? And Singapore's problem is, what do we do with all this rubbish? Right? So every day, do you generate rubbish? Do you throw stuff in the rubbish bin? Yeah, have you ever wondered where does it go? Right? I mean, for all of us, right, it goes to the incinerator. So where is our incinerator? Do you know what's an incinerator? Yeah, we destroy by burning. Right? We burn every single one of this. Okay? Waste management. Where is our incinerator? I also don't know where is our incinerator. Where is Singapore's incinerator? Okay, so this is the island that you're talking about, Pulau Semakau landfill. So we burn our rubbish and then we ship our rubbish into this place, right? And then we fill the land with our rubbish. After we fill, of course, not the entire land is rubbish, right? The bottom part, all rubbish. all the ashes. And then after that, the top part is the soil, and then we plant some plants on top. And then, hey, it looks very nice. Okay, but we cannot tell. The bottom is all rubbish. Okay, so that's our solution. But do you think it will ever end? At the rate that we are, I mean, are you generating rubbish every day? I don't know about you, but I am generating rubbish every day, right? I got rubbish bin here. After you eat something, you throw. You use some tissue, you throw. After I drink this, I will throw. So all this stuff has to go somewhere, right? It goes all the way here. Now, of course, you look at this and it looks so clean and green, right? So clean and green. But do you think it's really, really healthy for the whatever animals that is living over here? Can you imagine if you live in your house and then I choose the land beside your house as a rubbish dump, and then I tell you that don't worry, it's fine. I'll dig a hole and throw all the rubbish inside. And then finally I will patch with grass on top so it look all nice. Will you be happy with that? No, yeah. At the why you won't be happy with that? Yeah, because all the way down is all rubbish, you know. Okay, so it's the same. This land that we have, right, is all filled with ashes and rubbish. Now, the problem with this is how can you tell for sure that the water is not polluted by the rubbish that you throw? I know you cannot see it, right? We throw everything into the island so we cannot see it. Okay, but do you think that place is like totally pollution free? I don't know. You know, of course, I mean they have scientists and then they say that don't worry, everything is fine. Okay, but well, it is a thing that we cannot see. So Singapore, we choose to take this rubbish and put it somewhere else so we cannot see it. So because wherever we cannot see is not a problem, correct? No? Do you agree? As long as you cannot see, means it's not a problem, right? So far, it's like that, right? That's how we have been dealing with this. Okay, now how about other countries? How do you think other countries deal with the problem of rubbish? What if the country doesn't have the ability to, find an island and then throw everything inside? What else can they do? You see, this is how we dump rubbish, right? Mothership, for this thing. Right, so we burn all the rubbish, every rubbish, whatever things you throw inside, you'll be burned, turn into ashes, then the ashes will be dumped into the sea. And then we dump enough, it becomes one island. That's how we do it. Okay, so what about other countries that don't have the ability to do that? What do we do? Oh, sorry? Sorry, who's saying? Recycle. Did you say recycle? Litter everywhere. Yeah, some countries just litter everywhere. What else? How about Japan? What do you think Japan does? Taiwan, yeah. Taiwan recycling. All right, so in other countries, they have this recycling thing. Okay, now what they do is what's the meaning of recycling? That means, let's say this plastic, I'm not supposed to throw into this dustbin. Everywhere you go, you're gonna have like several categories of rubbish. If it's plastic, you must throw inside plastic. If it's paper, you must throw inside paper. Why? Because all these things will be recycled again, right? They will use the plastic and remake plastic. Now, the good thing about all this recycling is that you do not have to burn them, right? And then when you don't have to burn them, you don't have to throw them inside some water and hope that you don't pollute the water, right? So other countries they do that. So not only Taiwan, right, but Japan is also they do a lot of recycling, right? It has become a culture for them. So hopefully we also do something like that eventually. Because if we don't do that, you see all this recycling, because if we don't do that, after filling the Pulau Semakau, this Pulau Semakau, we have to find another island to fill, right? And it will never end. That means because how much rubbish do we generate every day? Let's check. How much rubbish Singapore generate per day. All waste statistics. And okay, 7.23 million tons. How big is 7.23 million tons? 1 ton is 1,000 kilograms. So it's 7 million 1,000 kilograms every year. Okay, 7 million 1,000 kilograms, of which 4.25 were recycled. So that's still not too bad. Okay, but you still have a lot of rubbish that needs to be burned. And then, you know, when you burn the plastic, right, what happens? The fumes also go into the air, right? So you get air pollution, you get water pollution, and then you throw them inside the land to fill the land. You know, right? So all this rubbish, right, they have to be burnt. All the rubbish must be burned. When you burn, you generate air pollution. Then when you put them into the water, you generate water pollution. Okay, so even though we cannot see it, Singapore, we don't see all these things because it's so clean, but it's happening somewhere. Now, when it happens somewhere, do you think it will affect you eventually? How do you think that thing happening somewhere will also come back eventually? Now, Ashton, how do you think it will happen? Let's say you put inside the island, right? The Pulau Semakau. Okay, we burn all this thing, right? Alright, all become ashes, and then we throw inside the island. Okay, then what happened? How will it affect you in the future? How might that thing affect you in the future? Just one example. Possibility. Is it possible that you know, some fishes might be affected by this rubbish? Like they might eat some of the burnt plastic, right? So when they eat the burnt plastic, right, maybe a bigger fish eat that smaller fish, right? And then you take that fish, you know, someone catches that fish, go and make the one Subway sandwich, something like that. And then, because I like to eat Subway, I will go and buy Subway, and I will eventually eat that meat. Okay, even though that meat looks okay, but it has consumed rubbish from somewhere. Okay, why? All because I don't want to throw this into the recycling bin. I throw inside my dustbin and burn the thing. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is very simple. What's crude oil? This oil. Okay, the oil that people dig from pump from underground. Once they got the crude oil, they're gonna boil the oil, and then a bit of the plastic will come out. So they use that little bit of thing to go and make plastic. That is why when you burn plastic, eventually what color does it become? If you burn plastic, black color. Okay, this thing, black color, right? So whatever plastic that you have comes from oil. Okay, so oil, is it a natural resource? Yes, right? You will use up oil, no? That means you keep using plastic, right? Eventually you're using the oil somehow. Okay, and of course it's not just oil. You cannot use this to like burn stuff, right? Why? Because it's man-made. That means there's a lot of chemicals they put inside the oil to make that plastic. Okay. Right. So yeah. So these are just some examples of man-made materials. Next. So metals are used to make alloys. Okay. What's the meaning of alloy? You know? Alloy means a mixture of metal. Alloy. Okay, let me give you an example. Brass is an alloy. What is brass? This stuff. Okay, used to make musical instrument. Brass. Yeah. Deforestation. We don't have. Okay, do we have deforestation in Singapore? Have a bit. right? But not at such a huge extent. So basically, deforestation means that you chop down all the trees in the forest. Why? Because you want the land. You want to use the land for something else, right? You chop all the trees. So when you chop all the trees, there are two ways you can do it. Number one, you can be very hardworking and really chop the tree, right? But number two, the faster way, of course, is to what? Let's go and burn, right? Let the forest catch fire. That is what happened, right? This is exactly what happened in Indonesia, and that's how you get air pollution, the haze into Singapore. Okay, they basically burn everything. And why do you think they want to do this? Number one is fast. Okay, number two, after the trees are burned, they are left behind to become what? Fertilizers. Okay, so the soil become very fertile. So why shouldn't they do that? Okay, I mean from their point of view, right? So that is the negative impact. So other harmful effects of deforestation are you have a loss of living things. So when you burn something like that, of course, living things die, right? Ever seen the video of the burnt koala? Do you remember last year in Australia? Koala, something like burnt. Okay, this is the Australian woman. Koala. Yeah, this is one, right? Okay, so this is during in Australia. In Australia, usually koalas don't move, right? They are like hugging the tree. Okay, they don't like to walk around. But the forest was burned to such a bad extent that this koala was actually like begging for water. Okay, from the woman, right? So the woman was like giving water, and it was such a touching scene, right? That they captured the whole thing. Okay, right? And of course, if you look closely enough, the koala was like burnt. Okay, so it affects. Have you all seen this in Instagram or anywhere? No. Yeah, so the koala was like burned, and then it's like very poor thing, going around asking for water because very thirsty. You can in the video you can see like the tongue sticking out there, very tired, thirsty koala. Right, most of it gets eroded away. That means that when the rain comes, the soil will be gone. It will flow away with the water. Now, if the land has got a lot of trees, soil erosion will not happen. But if the land has got no trees, just like this, okay, you see that there's not enough trees to hold the soil together. Every time it rains, the soil will be gone. Now, our neighbor Malaysia, right, suffers from some of the most serious soil erosion, especially at Genting. Okay, I mean now we cannot go there, but Genting Highlands. Do you know what is Genting Highlands? Genting Highlands. Have you all been to Genting Highlands? Wait, anyone been to Genting Highlands before? Never been to? Good. Genting Highlands. Right, is this resort in Malaysia? So it's not Legoland, it's Genting Highland. Genting Highland is somewhere in Kuala Lumpur. It's further than Legoland. So further than Legoland, you go to Genting Highland, you got to climb the mountain. But of course, you don't climb the mountain, right? The bus will take you up. But as you're going up, there's a lot of, you see, the Genting Highland is like somewhere here. So your bus will be traveling around the mountain. So they have this soil erosion happening here. Let me show you, which makes the climb very dangerous. Erosion. Right? You see? Okay, here's an example of a soil erosion happening on the road. So imagine your bus is traveling. If your bus is traveling here and then suddenly you get this soil erosion, that's everybody will go down. Yeah. You don't have to go there to take roller coaster. You get a roller coaster here. Okay, which is very bad. Right, so all this happens, why? Because don't have forests, don't have trees. You don't have enough trees or roots to average temperature. So what's happening? We are somewhere here, right? This is the year 2016. So when I was young, that means here, like really young, average temperature 27 degrees, like now. Okay? When it was December, I must wear sweater one. How come? Because it's really, really cold. Because average temperature 20 something. Do you know what's our average temperature now? I mean, not this month, but usually during the hot months, like March or June. Yeah, 30 something, you know. Where is 30 something? It's not even here. Right? You can see that this is like 29. So average temperature is always increasing. Right? Put my hair away. Right? It's going upwards. Right? It just keep going up. What is the temperature in India? Do you know? But what number? So now we are at about 35. You know what happens at 40? Okay, in India it's about 45 degrees Celsius. So Singapore we are around 35 average. Okay, last time we are like 27. So we keep increasing, right? Do you know what happens at 45 degrees Celsius? Have you ever gone to a temperature that is 45 degrees Celsius? Yes. Oh, where? Desert, is it? Dubai, okay, 35 degrees Celsius. But prolonged periods of 35 degrees Celsius, 45 degrees Celsius, right? Let me show you what happens. Yeah, it's super hot, no? And in fact, something happens to the road. You know what happens to the road? India road melt. Right? See that? Prolonged periods of like 45, this heat wave, the road will melt, no? Oh, but of course, at 45, but this is not like 1 day 45, it's like maybe the whole month or the whole 3 months, 45 to 50 degrees Celsius. You start to see the road melt. And then if you start to see the road melt, what does it mean? It means it's really, really hot. It's not just, yeah. And then furthermore, if you switch on aircon, right? I don't know, it might worsen the heat, you see? And then what happens here? Heat waves kills 800 over people. Of course, if you can melt the road, right? Definitely it's going to kill some people. Okay, because the temperature gets so hot. So, looking at the graph, that's the graph. Yeah, this one. Past climate change. Looking at the graph. So long ago we were here, when I was young. Now increase how much? About 2 degrees Celsius already, right? So now we are at 35. How long do you think it will take before our roads start to melt? I know, but 20 years, 30 years. So every 30 years increase 2 degrees Celsius. Every 30 years. Okay, so by the time you are 40 something, right? Plus 30 years, how old will you be? 42, correct? By the time you're 42 years old, the temperature might be around 39 degrees Celsius. And then it will be your turn to tell people, hey, do you know during January you gotta wear sweater or no? And then your kids or your students will say, don't bluff, the temperature so hot, when you got something as wear sweater. So now you should take a picture. Right? Yeah, you thought people won't believe you. It's like I tell you, you won't believe, right? Like during December, I was like, oh, so cold, I gotta wear sweater before I go out. Because December was really cold that time. Why? Because it was 27 average. Okay? You can't imagine that, right? So next time, in 30 years' time, people also cannot imagine, you tell them you gotta wear sweater. It's like in India, you tell people, do you know last time I need to wear sweater? Nobody will believe you. They only show you the melting road. Right? So nobody will believe you. Okay? That's about acid rain. Yeah, acid is a kind of chemical that corrodes stuff. Show you, corrode. I don't know if there's a video, but this is what happens.
Does it make it rust?
No, it's not rust. It's corrode. Corrode means like melt. It feels like melt away. So the rain falls, and because the rain is corrosive, it melts statue. Can you imagine a human being outside?
It's not.
Huh? Yeah, it will melt the hair and everything around, right? So basically, all buildings will corrode if there's acid rain. Your car, the paint, right, will like ice cream like that.
Wait, then if you're in a HDB building then got accident, then will all melt.
The entire building will not melt, right? But the paint will start to melt slowly.
So it's like the sides of it.
Yeah, at the side and basically everything. You see this guy, this thing? Almost gone already. The face is gone. Glass, maybe a bit, right? Basically, acid, right, corrodes everything that it comes into contact with, right? So this is like the worst thing to happen, you know, if you have acid rain. See, the statue is gone. It's gone. Now, how come there's acid rain? What causes acid rain? Pollution, right? Air pollution. This stuff. These fumes, if you have a factory, right, and then all these fumes, I mean, it's pointing upwards, right? Does it mean that it's safe? It points upward? No, because when it points upward, where does it go? Environment, right? Mixed together with what? The cloud. Then the cloud, when it's heavy, there's rain, right? Rain drop together with what? All these fumes. So you think that, oh, yeah, don't worry, we're just throwing the air into the atmosphere, right? You'll never come down. Wrong. So you're wrong. You'll come back down in the form of acid rain. So when it falls down in the form of acid rain, stuff like that happens. Huh? Why? Hershey is beside a big chemical factory. I have no idea. We can check. What? Factory. Yeah, polar ice cap. This one, yeah, see, polar bear is here, right? So what's so bad about polar ice cap melting? Yeah, so the polar bear died, but how does it concern me? Not my problem. Polar bear died, and still not my problem. Like the zoo, the inuka died. Did you cry? you know what's inuka? You see, you don't even know what's inuka. Wait, you know what's inuka? What's inuka? Yeah, it's a very old polar bear in Singapore Zoo. It died. Did it matter to you? Huh? I don't know. I think if I were the zookeeper, I wouldn't want inuka to be in Singapore. Because look at his environment. What kind of environment does it stay in? What kind of environment in Singapore? Singapore is a place where you eat roti prata, curry, and chili, and I mean, it's basically I'm saying that it's very hot temperature. You put a polar bear in Singapore, what do you expect it to do? Like happy, hey, I'm in Singapore. Time to bask in the sunshine. No, it's not happy or no. Yeah, of course, there's still a lot. Wait, do y'all know inuka died? Like did it? Is it like the news for you? You see, they even had a funeral there. Yeah, that's the funeral. Everyone just put their hand around there, right? So inuka died, right? It's a polar bear. I honestly have no idea. Right? It died. How it died? I think it suffered from some kind of a disease or heart attack or what. Right? Inuka dies. So it didn't matter to you, correct? So why? Yeah, you don't even know. So what does it matter that the polar ice cap melt and then? Yeah, last year. No, but my question is this: we say global warming will cause polar ice cap to melt, right? So all these ice melt. Okay, then poor Inuka doesn't have a place to stay. How does that affect you? Because you didn't even know Inuka died. How does it affect? Does it affect you?
No.
Yes, 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 no. Who say no? You? Why? Why you say it doesn't affect you?
Because the animals are
Far away, right? Very, very far away, right? Not a problem, right? Okay, why do you say it affect you?
not like not one the ice can never ice in
Oh, very good, right? Rising sea level. That is correct.
never watch Singapore anymore.
Yeah. So the problem with Singapore is that we are a tiny little what? Tiny little dot in the whole world. Okay. So you see, huge pieces. Okay, let's compare polar ice cap with the size of Singapore. How big are polar ice caps? Okay, look at that. Do you see that? Polar ice cap.
So good.
This is polar ice cap, huh?
Yes, one point one.
Yeah, you see that entire white color thing. Where in Singapore? We are yeah, I don't know where, right? But we are just like one dot, like one point, like one point. Okay, I don't even know where we are, but we are like one dot somewhere. This is polar ice cap. It's not just here; it's bottom as well, top and bottom. Now, if this thing melts, you're saying water level will what? Will rise. Which are some of the places that we flooded? What's the first place to be flooded? Anyone knows? Start with V one. The country? No. Start with V. Anybody? The second letter is E. Third letter is N. Next one is I. Oh, come on already. Venice. This is the first place that we flooded. Why? Because it's already flooded. You know what I mean? Look at the place. Have you been there? Anyone been there before? I've been there before. The only way for you to travel is in a boat because the place is already flooded. So if the water level would increase some more,
Is there any animals in the
fish, yeah, the fish everywhere. Fish is everywhere. Yeah, they're just walking around in water. This is when water level go up. Sometimes the water level come down, right? So this place is already flooded. And because it's already flooded, do you know all the buildings are sinking every year? I mean, the buildings are, because the whole place is already flooded, right? So the soil is like not very stable, right? So every year the buildings are sinking, like 1 cm, 2 cm, 1 cm, 2 cm. Yeah, but the place is still, it's still, I mean, people still stay there. They can't drain the water. There's too much. It's impossible to drain the water. But why do people still say that? Because tourists like me like to go, right? Like, isn't it fascinating to you that, hey, you mean there's one city that's flooded and then, you can eat pizza over there. So they still live their life like normal, even though the buildings are sinking. And then once in a while, I remember when I was there, it was dry like the first day. Then the second day, you cannot see the road anymore. It's just, yeah, there's a boat, travel by boat. Or you have to walk. And then there are a lot of bridges. You build a lot of bridges across from one building to another, so you don't have to travel. You don't have to walk, basically, right? You just take the boat, Everywhere you go is boat. No cars, right? Everywhere is boat, right? So
do some people have their own boat?
Everyone has their own boat. You know how you travel?
Then why you don't know how to ride the boat?
Huh?
Then why you start?
Everyone must know how to ride a boat, right? So this is okay. You see, yeah, there's no driving license there, right? So you see, this is a parade square or something, but now it's flooded with water. Okay, so you think we are not vulnerable to this? We are, right? In fact, we are one of the countries that will be next. You understand? After Venice, it will be us. Can you imagine between this building and the other building is all water? Like later when you go home, right? Your mom will row a boat. Then okay, come hop on, and then you row a boat.
Then why I mean that like the other side all the way to the other end.
What do you mean all the way to the other end?
Like Jurong to like
Everywhere, water lah. It's just water everywhere. Water everywhere.
very long.
Exactly. So okay. Okay. What I'm saying here is not I say one. No, it's the government say one. No. When will this happen? Do you know? Like when will this happen to us? In 100 years. The scientists already did the calculation. Yes, when you are dead, but you will see maybe a bit. You understand? It will not happen immediately, but you might see like, okay, here got water. Then you need to swim across.
Then once you get like very wet.
Yeah, basically all the restaurants are flooded. I remember I was eating pizza in the restaurant. So at first it was fine. And then after that, slowly water started to come in. So your feet is like all got water. Right? So you cannot put your bags on the floor. You got to put it on top somewhere. Yes.
Is there like a boat for that?
Yeah, I think maybe got boat grab over there. Right, but you'll be very slow.
Is there a movie cinema?
Yes, they have everything. They have it's like a normal.
Why is raining very heavily? Now the water will gush into
Yeah, correct. I don't know. You see, so sometimes they have to declare state of emergency. Yeah. Why? Yeah, it's nice, but it's nice as a tourist. You understand? It's not nice when you're staying there. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so okay, you see, not I say one. Yeah, Lee Hsien Loong say one. Lee Hsien Loong. They just pee in the water. Okay. Wait, I better show you the article. Lee Hsien Loong, Singapore, what do you call that? Climate. Where is it? Okay, don't put Lee Hsien Loong. Singapore, 100 years. Okay, so yeah. Where is the guy? No, where is it? Okay, there, this one. Singapore has a 100 billion plan, $100 billion plan. So Singapore has already set aside $100 billion, and I can't read the article. Actually, 100 billion needed to protect. What? Okay, see, National Day rally. 100 billion needed to protect Singapore against rising sea level. Okay, $100 billion. Why so expensive? That's a very good question. First, they need to build a wall, like Donald Trump. Okay, build a wall where? East Coast, right? East Coast area. Why?
But East Coast not that big.
Yeah, they need to build a big, huge wall around the East Coast area to not let the water come inside. That's the first thing, right? Wait, you see, how much will it cost to protect against about 100 billion over 100 years? Okay, in 100 years' time, we will have this problem. I know, but you see, rising. See, this is the simulation, right? They show you where the water will come in. Right, all this will be flooded first. Okay, wait, you see, what is this place? The whole East Coast Park will be gone. The whole Sentosa is gone. No Sentosa. The whole Jurong Island is gone. Pulau Tekong gone. No need to serve army. Okay. all these are the lower area. So next, you want to buy house? Okay. Yeah, where is Serangoon? Serangoon here, somewhere here. So we are still okay. Right, so this is mountain. Best if you Punggol is here. So it's still fine, right? So let's go some more. Is it increase? Are there? All this gone. Red color means flooded already. Gone. Blue color is water coming. Yeah, then when water come in, you form new rivers and everything. Okay, so basically this whole area gone. What is it? Orchard, no more Orchard, no more Orchard Road, no more Clarke Quay, no more Suntec City, all gone. Everything underwater. Next somewhere here. Next is somewhere here. We are now here. Yeah, like now as we are speaking, right? Water is like slowly increasing. Yeah. So you take 100 years for this to happen. 100 years is not long. It's not a long time. You will see. I mean, by the time you are 60 something, 70 years old, you'll see like maybe. What do you mean cannot see? Okay, why are they zooming in? Yeah, can you see all these houses? That's the whole East Coast gone, right? Changi Airport also disappear. Yeah, the entire Changi Airport gone. Yeah, they will probably have to put the airport somewhere else, right? And then this is so Clarke Quay, no more Chinatown. No more Orchard Road, no more Bras Basah, Suntec City, Marina Bay, MBS all gone. Right. All of this. Oh, what do you mean not that bad? This is terrible. This is terrible, right? So stay in the north, you see? Yeah, stay in the north. Yishun is fine. Stay in Jurong okay lah, not too bad. This Jurong. You mean here? This one is a reclaimed land. Ang Mo Kio is here, in the middle. So if you stay in the middle, you're fine. Okay, but this is 100 years. No, it will rise from the side. I know, but this is the reservoir. Reservoir is fine. It will always come from the side. So what's their plan? The plan is here, build a wall, like a super duper long wall. Yeah, around here, so water don't come in. So at least this. That's why they show this area, ma. Can you imagine how many households, the whole Katong all gone? No? How many people will be flooded swimming in water? Yeah, but if you have relatives here, they'll be like, can I stay in your house? Why my house flooded? You go swimming pool, just jump down and swim. Let's swim to Changi. What? I don't know. Okay, this will be at least like 2-3 meters time. Right? 2-3 meters. So it's like one story lah. Until here. So literally you can swim across. See them boxing, right? Just swim across. Yeah, so basically all the restaurants all flooded, all the cars will be floating around. Okay, so but this 100 years, of course. And then you'll be like, yeah, don't worry lah, it's 100 years time. But you never know. Maybe if you use more aircon, instead of 100 years become 50 years. Yeah, you see, you all cannot live without aircon, right? Right? If you use more, I don't know, vehicles, become 20 years. I don't know. You never know. That's the problem. You never know because rising sea level. Okay, but of course some people will be like, "Yeah, very exciting. I never stayed in this sort of situation before." Huh? Flooded lah. So nowadays, you see we got more flooding happening. Yeah, everywhere. You rain for 2-3 days, suddenly flooded already.
That was 2019.
That is 2019. We are saying in the year 2121, right? Singapore like that. Yeah, 100 years time lah. This you'll be here, and then after that, we gotta swim across. So it's 2119. Yeah, but not too far, right? You see, like that, your lamppost in water, electrocuted, everyone. And you know what's the other problem? The other problem is that where are all our electricity cables? Where are all our electrical cables? Where is our MRT? Well, nowhere, underground. Do you think those will be flooded? No, that will be flooded because submarine. Your MRT station will all be flooded. That's it. Everyone flooded. Okay.
Then after that, buying car, you buy boat.
You buy boat, yeah. You buy submarine, you buy snorkeling. Everyone
I
must.
buy airplane.
You buy aeroplane, helicopters. Helicopters will be useful.
My daughter is good.
Yeah. So if you want to know what's going to happen in Singapore in 100 years, just go to Venice. Okay. Go to Venice, you eat in the water, you understand what's going on. And then everywhere you travel is by boat. Yeah, everywhere is boat. Boat everywhere. Or you go to MBS, you know MBS now, they have the boat, the sampan thing, right? You know they got the sampan. Wait, do you know what I'm talking about? MBS sampan. The sampan, right? You see?
So small.
So this is like this will give you an example of what's gonna they already know, you see, so they built this
But
thing.
so small. The water is not even like water.
Okay, the good thing is this water is clean.
Yeah, actually.
But in 100 years time, this water is not clean. It has fish one, right? Got octopus, whatever stuff from the ocean. Those stuff. Yeah, so whatever stuff from the ocean will come in. Whatever rubbish, remember we throw rubbish where? Islands, the Macau, right? You know, they might flow in also. Remember the rubbish that I throw in the year 2021? Maybe in the year 2011, it will come to you. Yeah, of course I'm dead, but I say maybe you'll come to your grandchildren and then see your grandfather throw the rubbish and now fly back to you. Alright, so you see they're still happy. Why? Because they're tourists, right? They don't stay there. They don't stay there. But if they stay there and every day you're yeah. Yeah, but if you stay there and every day your feet is wet, I guarantee you won't be happy. Right? Every day your feet is wet, you'll be like, oh man, when can I leave this place? It's an exciting beginning. Yeah. Yeah. Look, right? So everywhere, just boat everywhere. Could be. Right? The water walls of Venice. So sometimes it's flooded, sometimes it's not. That's the problem. Probably. So the church also flooded one, right? And then flooded, all this rubbish will float around. Aiyo, you can't build tall buildings on water. Flooded land, the soil is very muddy one. You build a tall building, the whole thing. No. Okay, meat also have. Okay, wait. I better show you all this. Meat super cow. Super cow.
Why does that look so scary?
Because your burgers, right? Because you all like to eat burgers, right? Yeah. And one cow last time don't give so much meat, right? So they make super cow. So one cow will have more steroids, right? Chemicals. You see, this is a normal cow. Normal cow so skinny. You see, so skinny, right? This is not going to give you enough meat because to satisfy all your hunger for Happy Meals and cheeseburgers and everything, they gotta make a super cow. Why call what? Injection, so that it will grow more meat.
Wait, steroids can make injection.
Steroids are injection. They're like pills or medication or some stuff. So once they have these type of genetically modified thing, they basically grow more meat, right? Per cow got more meat.
Then why does human take that?
Really? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But scientists say okay, but scientists say it's okay. You understand? So this is super cow. What is super cow? Super cow is basically a selectively bred super cattle. That means that cow, basically that cow is grown for its meat. That's all. There's no other reason. How do you know? Maybe it's happy. Of course it'll die. Of course it'll die, right? So that super cow is super, huh? No. Milk one is this type, right? Of course, they also have ways to make this one produce more milk per cow, right? But the super cow is for the meat, okay? right? What else? I mean, this super cow, right? If you are interested in how they make super cow, just go to YouTube, go and search for super cow, right? They have a documentary how these super cows are made, so that they can satisfy the human beings' hunger. You see, hunger.
Oh my
What the
god,
heck?
why did I
Yeah, human beings' hunger for more meat. Okay, this one, this is a normal skinny cow. You're getting very what? Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, in the burger you don't see this one. You don't see the nice packaging samurai burger. Right. Yeah, but it came from all this stuff. That's just one example. Oh, but do you eat corn?
Yeah.
Do you know corn doesn't exist?
What?
Corn is a genetically corn. See, where does corn come from? Corn plant, right? But do you know there's no such thing as a corn plant? There is a maize plant, but corn is genetically modified from what?
From a dog?
No. Wait, you want to? How can dog produce corn? Corn, GM. Oh, you don't know. This is the ancestor of corn. What does this look like? This is the corn that we eat, right? I mean, we all look at corn and say, oh yeah, this must be natural, right? I mean, this is like natural food. Of course, now it's natural, but there wasn't such thing as corn until human beings discovered. No. Human beings discovered this thing. This thing. What does this look like? This thing. So they genetically modify this to this, and then from this genetically modified to this. Yeah, correct. Okay, it's grass. Grass. You know grass? Grass.
Why you step on the grass?
Grass, sometimes if you look close enough, you'll see.
Mud.
No, you see stuff like that. There's like tiny bits.
Why should we bring it home and plant it?
You can't plant it because you need to genetically modify it. Then it'll become this. You have to study in university, you go and modify so that it becomes this. And they realize that, hey, people like to eat this stuff. Let's make more of this because this comes from grass. And it's so cheap.
What is GMO?
GM means genetically modified something. Object, right? They inject some stuff, so it becomes corn and people just keep on eating corn.
Why they cut the corn, some of them?
No, this just alright, so this grass. Become like that. Potato is real. Yeah, that is real. Alright, so French fries is fine.
Chicken.
Okay, chicken also very scary, Right?
No. Hot dog is the worst.
Yeah, hot dog is the worst. Right? Chicken, KFC still quite okay.
Like the Chinese hot dog.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm just gonna leave y'all at this, yeah. Don't be grossed out, right? Don't go and tell your parents, I don't want to eat corn anymore. No. You can still eat corn, right?
I actually don't eat corn.
Yeah, you can still eat corn. Broccoli is fine, right? It's just that because we don't know the origin of all this food. They're all like genetically modified, and we don't really know if that affects you. Because human